Hey, it's Chris, and today we're gonna do something totally different than normal, which is exciting. Today, I'm gonna be telling you about my first ever desktop PC, the first one that I've ever owned, which is cool because every now and then it's good to change things up, both here on the channel and just personally. I've actually been wanting to check out what's new in the Windows world for a very long time, so I'm seriously very grateful to HP for sponsoring this video and giving me that chance. The question is, what did I think? This is the brand new 2019 HP Pavilion 27-inch all-in-one desktop PC, which HP bills as an entertainment and productivity machine. In this video, I'm gonna tell you about the performance, the design, the screen, the speakers, and all kinds of things in between. You know, I'm realizing the last Pavilion that I think I used looked something like this. So the hardware has changed a lot over the years, a big improvement, and the software actually feels pretty familiar to me, although there's some cool updates there as well. Like the voice-assisted Cortana setup, that was honestly very cool.
Next up, the legal stuff. In short, you'll need to select Accept to use Windows. You can decline, but then, no Windows.
This all-in-one is sporting a 2.4 GHz Intel Core i7 CPU with 16 GB of RAM, an NVIDIA GTX 1050, and a 2 TB hard drive. On the back, you've got several USB options, an Ethernet port, a headphone jack, and a memory card slot. Okay, so the performance. Let's hit the entertainment side first, and then I'll also touch on the productivity. I'm usually a fan of the Forza series, so I grabbed Horizon 4 and did some racing. Something that's definitely fun is grabbing your Xbox controller, hooking that up for an even more immersive gaming experience, which I did. The cutscenes of this game just looked absolutely beautiful on here, gorgeous even, and I'm not just saying that. The game played great on high video settings and looked good doing so. I'll link up the configuration down below just so you can compare it to whatever you might want to configure on the website. Shifting gears, I'm an Adobe CC subscriber, so I wanted to try out Photoshop CC and Premiere Pro CC to do a little photo and video editing and see how that worked. I felt like Premiere Pro actually ran pretty smoothly here. Editing HD footage is definitely a breeze. Editing 4K is doable also, especially since you can always optimize Premiere for the best editing and playback performance. I'd say for casual video editing, this is nice, like family movies or basic YouTube uploads, that kind of thing. Photoshop seemed to run great on here. It was no sweat working up the thumbnail for this very video, and actually, I think for most design tasks, this machine is plenty powerful. Of course, I had to try opening up a bunch of different tabs in the browser to see if things would slow down at all, and honestly, I think I ran out of websites that I wanted to have open before it seemed to slow the whole system down. This is a big screen at 27 inches, and I've definitely been enjoying having two windows open at the same time, each taking up 50%. It's been at least a couple years since I had a 27-inch screen on my desk, so this has been a productive setup. Speaking of the screen, this is a Quad HD display, which means that its resolution is somewhere in between Full HD and 4K. I could pick out lots of detail, but at the same time, the details don't pop quite as much as maybe a 4K TV. For just a home or a home office computer, the resolution is a really good fit though. Photos look good, videos look good, games look good. This is also a touch screen, which I'm really enjoying actually. To be honest, it's not a feature that I use a lot, but just knowing that I can is pretty awesome. This is kind of like a massive tablet in a way, except you can't hold it in your hands. But scrolling, tapping, resizing windows, it all works fine. I guess the only potential downside is that you get some fingerprints on the display, but really those only show when the screen is really dark, so not all that often. Let's talk about the style and the design of this system next. The computer itself looks pretty unique. I like the way that it looks. Actually, I like it a lot. The colors are on point with that metal base and the dark fabric speaker bar, along with that plastic black shell. I really love the blacked out look of that keyboard and mouse as well, which looks incredibly dope sitting on my all black desk. I'd call the keyboard fairly nice to type on. The key travel's all right. It's not my favorite keyboard in the world, but it's far from the worst. It's decent. The mouse truly isn't my favorite. It's functional. I wish it could scroll horizontally and not just vertically, but it's plenty good enough to get you started. Something I do think is pretty cool though is the pop-up camera, which you can keep out of sight if you're worried about privacy. That's pretty unique. And I do just want to mention before I forget that I love the relatively small bezels on the sides and top of this screen. That really helps keep the aesthetic looking clean and minimal. The fabric covered bar right under the screen, which kind of gives this computer its signature look in a way, is a speaker system tuned by Bang & Olufsen. For videos and for gaming, it sounded good. For music, it also sounded good, but I just wouldn't expect an overwhelming amount of room-filling bass. If you're into Windows, if you're looking for a 27-inch all-in-one for the home or home office, I think you'll really like this computer. It can do some gaming, it can handle some creative work, it's definitely nice to surf the internet and watch movies on. At the time of upload, this model was $1499.99 on Amazon. I'm gonna link it up down below so you can check it out for yourself, and of course, you can configure this any number of different ways to better personalize it for how you plan on using it. I'm gonna continue using this Pavilion on into the near future, so make sure to leave me your comments and your questions down below. I'll try to get those answered. Don't forget, you can follow me on @DailyTech, spelled Daily T-E-K-K, on Instagram and Twitter. Let me know if you want a follow-up to this video in a few months, and I'll catch you in the next video. Later.